First of all, I'd like to thank you both for choosing to meet with me remotely.
Hmm.
Deborah, you're currently staying with your sister, correct?
Yes.
All right. I'd also like to say that I'm sorry to hear about your loss.
Thank you.
The loss of a child, or in your case, a grandchild, can seem utterly...
Senseless? Stupid and senseless?
Yes, Bob. Stupid and senseless. It can also make a parent or grandparent very angry. Would you say that you're feeling angry, Bob?
Yeah, I'd say I'm feeling a little angry, Dr. Richards. What the hell kind of question is that?
Bob, he is trying to help. Now knock it off.
Knock what off, Deborah? My anger? My volcanic, all-consuming anger?
Yes,
And how should I do that, Deborah, huh?
by listening to the psychologist.
You know, I don't believe in any of this crap. No offense, Doc.
Of course. If I might interject.
Oh, by all means, interject.
Bob, I think it would be best to explore your anger in a way that validates rather than minimizes it.
Oh, you might want to keep his anger minimized, Dr. Richards. We wouldn't want Bob to smash his laptop.
A joke. Lovely.
Why is that a joke, Bob?
Yes, why is that a joke, Bob?
Because when our granddaughter died in that car accident, I threw a dining room chair, went through a cabinet, smashed the glass. It was a mess.
Yeah, a lot of my grandmother's china was in that cabinet and was destroyed.
Come on, what's your grandmother's china compared to what that drunk driver did to our family?
Absolutely nothing when you put it like that.
Bob, do you feel that Deborah's reaction to your anger is unfair?
Yes, because she is angry too. She dealt with it differently. You know, I asked her what she did, Doc.
Deborah, do you feel comfortable sharing how you dealt with your anger?
Bob is loving this right now. You are loving this, aren't you?
Oh, just tell him what you did. Tell him what you did.
I am not a criminal. He wants you to think that what I did was illegal.
It is illegal.
Not in Colorado.
We're not in Colorado. Deborah, we're in upstate New York where we still have drug laws. Okay? For the time being, although God knows those are going out the window with the rest of society.
Oh, jeez.
Deborah, I'd like you to share your experience. Please understand that I am not judging your actions.
Oh, don't worry, Doc. I got that covered for both of us.
Bob, I think it would be best if you were quiet for a while.
Yeah.
Just listen. Listen to your wife.
Fine. Okay, I'm listening. But I already know what she did is not above board.
God.
Deborah, would you begin, please?
All right. After our granddaughter's death, some things kind of crept up inside of me from, like the past.
What kind of things?
Well, when Bob and I were first married, before our daughter was born, we had a son, a little boy named Stephen. He was very rambunctious and fun, and he had one little dimple in his cheek, just like Bob, when he smiles. Anyway, when he was 3, we had a birthday party for him. He is a June baby. And my sister said, have it over here, have it at our place. We have a pool. And we did, and we were inside with the AC and the food and the cousins running around everywhere, and we lost track of him. And for a moment, just a single moment. And We couldn't find him anywhere until we went out to the pool, and that's where we found him. But by then it was,
I understand.
okay.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
Just skip ahead, Deborah. Do good stuff.
Deborah, would you prefer to skip ahead? It's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine. So when our granddaughter Emily died 3 months ago, it was like reliving the trauma with Stephen all over again, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. So I did some research and learned about something called psilocybin.
Shrooms. They're shrooms.
I know what psilocybins are, Bob.
Yeah.
Thank you. Deborah, what did you discover during your research?
That I didn't have to drown in my grief.
What did you do?
What do you think she did? She got high. Listen, Doc, I'm all for mental wellness and all that garbage, but I'm not really sure I'm adding any value here. I can feel it. I'm a hindrance. Maybe you and Deborah should just make this a one-on-one session.
Bob, don't you dare.
Bob, I think it's best you stay as Deborah requested.
Fine.
Deborah, please continue.
Okay. Well, I got a small amount of mushrooms from my nephew, Kevin.
Kevin is a degenerate.
And he offered to guide me through a session.
What did that consist of?
I laid down on my living room sofa and put on a sleeping mask. And Kevin said I should choose some music to listen to during the session. So I picked out some Chopin. I used to play Chopin when I was pregnant with Stephen. Do you remember that, Bob? Anyhow, Kevin chopped up the mushrooms.
In my good coffee grinder, no less.
He then mixed them with some orange juice, and I was really nervous, but Kevin said he would stay with me the whole time. It was like 6 hours, I think. And half an hour in, I guess it was, I noticed a change.
And what change was that?
It was like euphoria, like such peacefulness, terror.
Which of those would you like to explore now?
Terror.
What was terrifying about it?
Well, I mean, I remember I was submerged in water, like the ocean or a pool. And I moved slowly, suspended, and my chest was so heavy. And I started to panic, and I wanted to get away. But I had read that, you're supposed to like ground yourself and face your fear head on. And so I did. And I saw Stephen. This ball of color was ebbing and flowing in front of me. And we didn't even talk, but we didn't even need to. I mean, he was like pulsing with joy.
You like that, Doc? Our dead son has now come back as a blob of watercolors.
Bob, why does this upset you?
Because it's not real, okay? It's not Stephen, and it makes me sick. You can't reduce our son to a bad trip, Deborah. I won't let you do it.
He was so full of forgiveness.
Stop it.
I won't. It was beautiful.
Tell him the best part, unless you're too ashamed.
I am not ashamed.
Well, go ahead then. Tell him we've been sucking down that hippie juice every week for 3 months.
I am not ashamed, Bob.
Well, you should be. Listen, Doc, I'm the first person to admit I'm not a man of science, but what she is doing is immoral, illegal, and it's selfish.
How is she selfish, Bob?
Because she floats off to La La Land and I'm stuck down here.
You won't try it. I have asked.
That's right, I won't.
So that is why we have decided to meet with you, Dr. Richards, for Bob.
For Bob. Well, this is supposed to be for both of us, Deborah. Or did you just say that to get me on board?
Jesus, something has got to change, Bob.
Oh, things did change. You moved in with your sister.
Because I don't know who you are anymore. Our life together has become a nightmare.
Because this is a nightmare. Emily's dead, and now you're dragging Stephen out of that pool again, and it's too much. Deborah, it's too much for anyone to handle alone.
Then talk, Bob. Please.
Bob, would you like to talk now?
Please.
Emily and I, well, there used to be this thing she would do for school, collect rocks and paint little happy phrases or pictures. And then she'd hide them all over town, you know?
Yes, I've seen them.
Yeah.
And if you're out for a walk and you find one, you can keep it or just enjoy it for a moment and then go on your way. She and I would spend hours together working on them. And some Saturdays we'd go out and we'd hide them together. She was very clever.
She was.
Very clever. She'd find the best hiding spots.
Yeah.
And now when I'm out walking alone, it's like they're just everywhere. I can't avoid them. They're all over the place. All these bright colors jumping out to remind me that Emily's not here anymore. And it's like I'm hallucinating.
Do you think that you could get to a place where these bright colors, much like Deborah's experience, can bring you joy instead of pain?
I don't know. I hope so.
And is it possible to accept the way Deborah's chosen to deal with the loss of your son?
I don't want to talk about Stephen.
Please. I mean, there is just no perfect way to get through any of this. What I do is working for me. Each time I submerge myself and see Stephen, the better I feel, the better I get. I mean, for 30 years, I couldn't even stand the sight of open water. But now I feel, I sense that Stephen is part of the water. He is in the rain. He's in the warm running water at the kitchen sink. I mean, simple things like that. They bring me so much comfort, so much joy, Bob. I mean, if you could only feel the forgiveness that flows from him.
Stop it, Deborah.
It's overwhelming. I mean, he forgives us, Bob.
Deborah, stop.
He forgives you. And so do I.
One moment he was holding my hand, and the next moment he was gone. I was supposed to be watching him. I'm sorry, Deborah. It's my fault that he's dead.
Oh, it's not. It's not your fault anymore.